What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy Chang, a nurse, a mom, and a health coach, and this is Healthy AF, where honesty and humor and heart meet real talk about feeling good again, inside and out. We're cutting through the noise, dropping the guilt, and reminding you getting healthy isn't about perfection. It's about choosing yourself, one loving decision at a time. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF, and happy January. Whoop, whoop. We've made it to 2026, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. My name's Amy Chang, and I'm a health coach here with Healthy Living, Health and Wellness Coaching. Such a mouthful. And I'm thrilled that you're here with me. We are spending this month talking about connection and community. So if you tuned into last week's podcast that dropped, I think on the 29th of December, I gave you a preview of what we were doing in January, content-wise, podcast-wise, and why we were doing it. So why do connection and community in January when everybody else is talking about motivation and planning your actions and goals and New Year's resolutions? And because for me, community and connection and the sense of belonging that we cultivate in ourselves inside that community and connection, that's the ticket to really having some sustainability in our healthy habits. So welcome to January. Last week, I told you that really through a conversation with a friend, we identified 4 really common ways that we connect with people and the different benefits that each one of those ways bring us. We also talked about how each of those different ways of connecting is important and serves a place for us in our lives. And sometimes we get a little out of balance where we have like a little bit too much connectivity over here in this one type of connectivity, and we're really missing the benefits that come from this other type of connectivity. So today we're going to review the 4 types of connectivity we're talking about. And then I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the first one. So 3, 2, 1, here we go. 4 types of communication or a connection and community. Acknowledgement, just acknowledging another human being. Doing something with commonalities, second type. You're in my class. You work at the same place I go to work. You go to the same church I go to. Same coffee shop. The third is more social connections, something outside the things you have to do, like work and school, and inside a more specific interest, like a surf club, a mahjong group, CrossFit, for instance. And then that 4th type is going to be what we call intentional, intimate relationships. So let's get started with acknowledgement. We have, I think, a gap sometimes in how we utilize community acknowledgement. When we see another human being, do we acknowledge them simply as a family of human beings? We're all a family of human beings. Do we, in some way, indicate to them that we see them? Gosh, that is just powerful enough in itself, right? We talk about how hate isn't the opposite of love. The opposite of love is indifference. Do we see people? And are we seen? And why would it matter when it comes to living a really healthy, thriving life? Well, let's look at it. I don't know if you've ever been on the end of not being acknowledged or not being seen. I have. And it can really shake your confidence. And let's see how that happens in just quick everyday examples. You get on an elevator, it's full of people. You look no one in the eye, you turn around quickly, press your button, and keep your eyes straight forward. You have not acknowledged anyone, and they have not acknowledged you. I think we've all done this. You're walking down a city street, it's busy, and you have in your AirPods and you're listening to a podcast. Maybe you're thinking or you're jamming out to some music, and you're on your way with purpose, walking with purpose, and you're passing dozens of people. Do you look in their eyes? Do you give them a quick nod, a wave? Do they see you? It's so common for us to pass each other up. A lot of times in my younger years, while I was still living a very busy, go, pick the kids up, drop the kids off, go to the gym, go to the grocery store, go to this, that kind of lifestyle. Many times I didn't recognize or acknowledge people because I was so wrapped up in my list of what I needed to get done. I would go through the grocery store on the phone with a doctor's office or a friend or anybody and completely check out my groceries without ever looking at the person who was checking me out. Because I was just multitasking, I was just busy, I was just focused. And sometimes it's just because I'm self-absorbed. So when we get in that bubble, what's the impact on us and what's the impact on other people? Well, if you've ever not been acknowledged, you'll relate to the pain of feeling alone and not belonging. I know that when I moved down here to Wilmington, I moved here and had an idea of a specific friend group and a belonging with some social constructs that I had already built before I came. And when I came, those constructs actually weren't in place. I went through a really tough year that was filled with isolation and grief. I moved down here to an apartment with just me and my cat. And I didn't really know anybody in town. That was tough. It was tough to have bad days and just need somebody to be there. Just someone to see me and know that I was on the planet and communicate with me that I was on the planet, and that I did belong here. That was a really transformative time for me in how I viewed acknowledging other human beings that are walking the face of the earth with us. So I'll tell you, during that first 6 months of living here, I was emotionally in probably the hardest year of my life. And I was alone in my apartment by myself. And of course, I work online. So there was a lot of alone. There was a lot of Amy. And a lot of all the thoughts and the thinking that live in your head when you're by yourself. And so I made two choices to help me feel acknowledged that got me through that first 6 months. One was, I said, Amy, you're going to take yourself out for a meal every day. Every day. I don't care what it costs and I don't care what you order. You're going to take yourself out for a meal every day, which meant I made great friends with the wait staff at some of my favorite restaurants because they were the only person I got to talk to that day. And it just felt so good to be seen, just for one human being to see me and ask how my day was going, or actually want to see that I was okay, and sometimes share how their lives were going. And fast forward, they're still some of my favorite people. When I go into one specific restaurant in town, all the wait staff are like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hi," and I have friends who say, "You must come here a lot," and I said, "Well, I came here a lot during a very tough time." So that acknowledgement from another human being really sustained me, and I leaned on it heavily. The other choice I made was to get on my bike every day. And when I got on my bike every day, I rode past all the walkers and runners and construction crews and landscaping crews who were working at that time in the early morning. I made a point to every morning say good morning and look at people in the eye and wave to them because I needed them to see me. I needed their eyeballs on my eyeballs. I needed to know that I mattered and that somebody knew I was alive. And eventually, those people that I saw on the daily, with of course me waving and saying good morning, began to expect to see me. And if I didn't ride for a couple of days, then I would hear it. Where you been? And that really was so sustaining and life giving, just as a member of my regional community where I live, but also as a member of the human race, that someone knew that I was on the planet and that I wasn't where I was supposed to be at, 7 a.m. last Thursday when it was super windy. That's the impact we have when we acknowledge other people. You never know who is by themselves. You never know who is struggling. You never know who is in pain. You never know when someone just needs another human being to say, I see you. So that's why we would acknowledge other people. What does it give us, the acknowledger, when we're acknowledging other people? For me, I have a very strong commitment of acknowledging every person I see. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes they might be having a really rotten day and they don't want anybody to look at them. And that's okay. I'm not going to get in their face, but I am going to look. For the acknowledger, it gives a sense of responsibility to every human being on this earth. A sense of connectedness that I'm with you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you did last night that you're ashamed of. I don't know what grief you're dealing with. I don't know what unbelievable goodness is happening to you right now, and you can't even believe yourself, and you just want to shout from the rooftops that you're in love or that you just got that job. I don't know, but I do know I've got your back because you're a human being and I'm a human being. And when we live like that, and when we have that sense of connectedness on just that very basic level, I might not be inviting you to my house, but I can at least look. I can at least smile or nod or wave or say morning. And that reminds me I'm part of a bigger something. And I have an impact to make. I know this holiday season has been a little bit tough for our family. We're going through some changes with my mom's health, and there was a day that it was sunshiny and I went for a run and I was really having a tough day. And I noticed that on my run, I didn't look at anybody. And that's when I noticed that I wasn't myself. And I probably needed to take some time to be real gentle with me because I wasn't open for any kind of connection and being acknowledged. there are times that when times get tough and maybe I'm self-absorbed, maybe I'm having a pity party, maybe it's just heavy, that I'm not available to be acknowledged or acknowledge other people. And that in itself is sort of painful. So I'd like to invite you. How's that? I'm not going to boss you around. It's the 1st of January. I don't need to be bossing around people yet. I'd like to invite you throughout all of these podcasts in January to get out your pen and paper, start drawing some circles. Who's in your community and how are you connected? Look at those people that you acknowledge or don't. Look at who acknowledges you or doesn't. Try it out. See how it feels to make an effort to acknowledge other human beings. Slow down. Put down your phone. Get your head out of your list. Be brave. And acknowledge other people. And just see how that feels for you. And you might want to, just draw a little circle and put who do I acknowledge? Who do I not acknowledge? Who always acknowledges me? And see how that works. So, focus of the week, acknowledgement. Human being to human being. We're all related, and I hope we all love each other. I love you, and I hope you have a great week. I will see you next time on Healthy AF. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Healthy AF. I hope something you heard helps you take one small, kind step toward your healthiest self. If you love this episode, hit subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And if you want more support, head over to myhealthylife.coach to connect with me. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to start choosing you. See you next time.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.